us Americans, yet you wanna be a citizen. Good luck in Italy, good luck in Ireland, but if I had a brain, you know I'd go to Amsterdam. When you get into a skirt with other countries, you'll be kissing us again. I kiss this. I don't like Disneyland. I can't stand Uncle Sam. I don't believe in the Klan. I can't believe it's tattoos made from France. Kissing ass to America, sucking on the USA. Broken glass and straight drop, living in the USA. Kissing ass to America, sucking on the USA. Broken glass and straight drop, living in the USA. USA, the USA, living in the USA. The USA, living in the USA.
It has a bunch of, it says exploding balls on the side of it. Go up in the air, one after the other.
Rate sirens are going off again.
I don't think that the MMD went up.
Ladies and gentlemen, the North American Snow Queen Broadcasting Network brings to you MMD World News Live, featuring Michelle Marie Delaney. Topics: the news, and the best news in the world, where your news becomes our reality.
It's Michelle Marie Delaney, and tonight, of course, we want to cover the situation with the debt ceiling. As you know, Janet Yellen has informed you and everyone else that the debt ceiling could default as early as the 1st of June. Kevin McCarthy and Joe Biden administration are in talks right now to try to find a way to come up with a consensus that will allow them to guarantee that the debt ceiling will be raised. However, as Kevin McCarthy has also said to the House, is that he will suspend their vacation time if this issue is resolved before the vacation time. Here in the background, helping us with the show is Leather King himself. How you doing, Leather King?
Hey, Michelle, how are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Great, excellent. I just got some Starbucks coffee, and I'm taking sip after sip and also smoking marijuana.
Okay, well, that's more than I'm doing right now. I had 2 cups of almond milk and an apple.
Staying healthy, Michelle. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about, staying healthy.
So, anyway, so the point is clearly is that they are going to try to resolve the debt ceiling, even though Joe Biden insisted going to the G7 summit in Hiroshima, Japan. I guess his office is in negotiation with Kevin McCarthy through wireless communications at this point to the White House.
Now, I had heard, Michelle, I had heard that the first 2 meetings didn't end too well. Is that true?
No, they did not. No, they did not, because Biden originally said he would not negotiate with Kevin McCarthy. And things are getting really desperate for America, as Janet Yellen said, that the United States could default before June 1st.
What does this mean? What does this mean for the common American, Michelle?
Well, it means that if the United States default, that means our money would lose its high-quality AAA rating and maybe go down in value. And it means our bonds would also not be reimbursed for the bonds, because we would not be able to pay all of our debts. It's like if you run out of money in your own budget and you can't pay all your bills. Your bills could end up going to collections. Well, the same could happen with the country. That the United States could end up defaulting, meaning that its bills can't be paid. They'll be bankrupt.
What does this mean for the disabled people across the country, across America?
People have asked that about the Social Security checks. Here's what I have heard from several sources that are more familiar with it. The first thing that would happen if we default is Social Security would stop any in-office visits and close down the offices, similar to what they did with COVID, for the reason that they had to have a skeleton crew, maybe 1 or 2 persons in the office. Things like redeterminations would cease to happen. They would actually stop all redeterminations, and all new applications would be halted as well, because there would not be no money to pay for the staff to do these things. The staff would be basically not paid or on furlough until the government can get the debt ceiling increased and get the bills paid. So
Wow, so this is really fucked up.
Yeah, it is. It is. If it was a really long term, they said probably in 2 months, your Social Security checks may be cut in half. So you're talking about maybe in July or August, you might see a cut of your check by 50%.
You know, I kind of wonder, Michelle, if this was during the Trump administration, if people would be making more a bigger deal about this. I find it very strange how, you know, Biden's president and, like, you know, everybody's check is going to get cut in half and nobody cares. I mean, the gas prices are through the roof. The price of food is through the roof. The price of living is through the roof, and nobody cares.
Right. Absolutely. That's part of the whole problem, because the money, you know, a lot of people in disability, we may be a little more susceptible and sensitive to the reality than the average working American. But yes, it would affect the price of fuel as well, because we used to have all of our sales of fuel originally was in petrodollars. Now more and more, because of the uncertainty of the American economy, more and more countries are choosing other monetary systems to do oil transactions instead of a petrodollar. Which is
Michelle, let's take a quick break to say hello to everybody in the audience. We got Krista, we got Tony, we got Nancy Drew. Thank you guys for coming. We really appreciate it. Right, Michelle?
Much appreciated. And also, you know, the weather is going to be nice for the next few days. That's going to be another good thing. Just real quick. So I get out there and you take advantage of the nice weather while we have it here in the Northeast. It's gonna be warming up. Probably by next week, we're going to be seeing temperatures close to 27 degrees Celsius.
What is that in American temperatures?
Let's see. 14 plus 68 would be close to 82 degrees.
That's a hot one, Michelle.
That's
too hot. That's too hot for Leather King. How does Mother Nature expect Leather King to walk around in his leather at 82 degree heat? Yeah, sorry.
Well, that's why this would be a good thing for the night show, because the night show, you would be hosting it, and I would be able to sit on the porch with my laptop and do the same thing. So,
all right, guys, this is what we're trying to do. Okay, Michelle came to me, said she's a little stressed out about the night show. All right. I said, Michelle, let me run the night show for you. I'll put in bumpers for you, etc. We're trying to create a template. And what we're going to need from you guys is feedback. What do you want to see Michelle do? Do you guys want to see news? Do you want to see games? Do you want to see trivia? Do you want to see, you know, what do you want? What do you guys want? I believe, Michelle, that people want to see you playing games, trivia. They want you having fun. They want to get involved in the show without the N-word being blasted over and over and over again.
Absolutely. And there's nothing wrong with the games and trivia. I mean, we played a couple nights ago. We played Quiplash. We played Murder Trivia and a few other games. We did a couple drawing games. And I also pointed out, since I do like playing, you know, or role-playing games like MMORPGs, like Minecraft, Turtle WoW is free. Anybody with Windows or even some people who have wine on their computer can play Turtle WoW, and it doesn't cost anything. So that would be something where we could have play as a group of people.
Okay. So I would like Michelle to be herself. People want to see you being yourself, Michelle. People
Right.
want to see you being yourself. Sarah says, I love it. Sarah also says they want the news and games.
Right.
Krista says, I want to see Michelle have loads of fun, laughing her butt off, not being stressed out. Thank you, Noodles, for helping her out. No problem, Krista. That's what we're here for. Big time support.
And I agree. Thank you. I think you were on the Saturday night show. Let me ask you, how did you feel about the Saturday night show when you were there, from what you saw?
I believe it was totally out of control. I believe it was good, Michelle, but you don't want that. And I want to work with you. And I think that you have a lot of knowledge. You're a very smart person. I believe that there are certain things that you can be producing here. That's great. You just need a chance to do it.
Right.
I would want to do the live phone calls, Michelle, but unfortunately, the people out there are ruining it, and they're ruining the fact. If you guys want Michelle to go live, all right, stop. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Well, Dorian, I don't know if you just heard Michelle talk about the debt ceiling. The debt ceiling is about to crash, and I might get my check cut in half due to the fact that Joe Biden is now running this country.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, Michelle, why don't we break into some crypto news? You want to do some crypto news?
All
right, let me play it. All right, we're gonna crash into some crypto news.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause for Michelle Marie Delaney. And what is the deal with cryptocurrency?
The latest news in the crypto front is Governor DeSantis of the state of Florida has made a ban on cryptocurrency to be accepted from any country, including the United States, with the new CBDC currency created by the Federal Reserve, saying that this money is in many ways as a form of a Trojan horse that could be used to regulate American consumers from preventing them from buying the things that they need. For example, right now, the main focus is on firearms. However, he pointed out that it also could stop them from telling you that you can't buy anything that the government deems unnecessary. Also, the coinage can be expired very quickly. So if they think you've been hoarding the money and not spending it, then they can automatically expire the money you have in the bank and make you dirt poor. So,
Michelle, I got a real big problem with this. I mean, they're basically telling Americans they can't do this, they can't do that. I mean, isn't that what caused the Revolutionary War and the confiscation of private property and stuff like that?
It certainly goes back to that. Yeah, it's the Revolutionary War with England, because King George III and the House of Parliament, the House of Lords and the House of Commons, kind of forgot for a long time. Kind of forgot about America over there. They were all focused on the British Crown issues of the mainland Britain, and then somebody said, "Wait, what about America?" And the Crown said, "Well, you know what? We got to make some money off them, so let's tax the heck out of them." And so they started doing the taxing of tea and other stuff, and also put mandates that everything that was made in the colonies had to go to the United Kingdom.
Now, Michelle, you do YouTube, right? Is that a necessity? What if they took YouTube away from you?
Right now, yeah. What if they took YouTube away from me? Well, I mean, that would be kind of very, very significant, a major kick in the Kiwis, because right now YouTube is what makes me my pocket change, to pay for some of the extra things that I do. The money wasn't there. There would be absolutely nothing I could do. I mean, I'd be back to just barely surviving.
Michelle, Stan CT says there will come a time when an egg-laying hen will be worth more than an ounce of gold.
I would say that's happening already, guys. Literally, because the avian flu is killing so many chickens right now. Have you ever priced out how much a dozen of eggs is? I mean, the eggs.
I get it for free at the pantry.
I don't know, unfortunately. I paid $7 for a dozen Eggland's Best eggs. I know I eat the cheapest ones, but seriously, right now, gold is a form of M1 currency. It's a tangible metal. It has been gold and silver has been the backbone of the American economy for years. And prior to 1933, it was our coinage was minted in gold and silver. But after 1933, gold was made illegal to own, which is kind of ironic because the Federal Reserve was still using gold as a commodity exchange up until 1972. Under Richard Nixon, when he took us off the gold standard, we were taken off the silver standard in 1965 under President Johnson.
Well, I mean, don't you think that Bitcoin might actually save us if that's the case?
I don't think so because Bitcoin's not backed by nothing. What's it backed by? It doesn't have anything. It's a hash. It's a computational hash. That's it. That's all it is. Right now, the way it is Bitcoin. It's been used by people as a way to get things that they cannot easily get on with regular coinage because it's not regulated by the banks. That's changing.
Michelle, we have a guest, Dorian Gray. Dorian Gray would like to say hello to you, Michelle.
Come on, Dorian. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Michelle.
How you doing?
How are you doing?
Doing all right. How are you?
Dorian? You got a question for the Snow Queen, Dorian?
I think that, I want her to go out more, especially eat pizza. I love it.
So, Michelle, what about getting out more? I mean, what does the future hold for you and IRL streaming and stuff like that?
Well, as far as in IRL streaming, I think one of the things is because I don't have easily access to transportation to go places, it's kind of hard to get out there to do it. I would love to do more of it, but transportation is difficult. I did some with Krista on the way home from the doctors. That did not do very well for some reason. There wasn't a lot of interested participants.
Dorian, I got to tell you something, Dorian, and this is the God honest truth. For me to make a trip like that now is killing me financially. You know what I mean? And that wasn't the case 5 years ago, 4 years ago. That was not the case. And now, again, I'm sitting at a 7-Eleven right now, thinking I should buy a cup of coffee. That cup of coffee is going to cost me over $3. $3.
Right. And
it's
the price of gas up here in Connecticut right now. I think I saw yesterday it was $3.39 a gallon. 5 years ago, when Trump was in charge, the price of gas came down quite a bit. It was close to $1.89 up here. So the price
Dorian,
of gas,
are you being affected, Dorian, by the hikes in prices and everything like that? Is Dorian still with us? Oh, Dorian left. Dorian, again, thank you very much, Dorian, for coming up and telling Michelle that you want to see her get out and eat some more pizza. Thank you very much. Well, here's the thing. Dr. Yosef. I went to Michelle and I said, Michelle, listen, you can advertise your PayPal here. Michelle, you can drop your PayPal link. You can, whatever you want. If you want, Michelle, give it to me, and I'll scroll it across the screen for you. If people want to donate money to you.
Right. And please understand, guys, it's a donation. It's not mandatory. It's not like you get a pay-per-view channel. You got to pay to watch it. You know, you got to keep that.
Guys, this is more like PBS. I mean,
Right. This is more like a PBS type thing. Yes, we do get paid for running advertisements on YouTube, but even that revenue is dropping because YouTube is not getting as many advertising anymore. They got to divvy out the money to more channels now.
All right, Michelle, I want to play a clip, and I want you to respond to it. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Has anybody noticed that woke culture cannot create a movie that is interesting to the public without rebranding it, maybe recasting it with African Americans or people of color, or women playing the role that men once did? Is it lack of creativity, or is it just cultural appropriation?
Well, the thing is when they try creating new movies, the wokeness thing, I think, is getting a little bit out of control. What's wrong with making a movie or story that's just enjoyable by everybody? Where does race have to come involved here?
Yeah. Right. It's kind of weird. I kind of feel strange when I see these movies coming out, and they can't come up with anything like new. They can't come up with anything interesting. They just rebrand something with an African American or a woman. It's very bizarre.
Them, yeah.
And people will pay for it. It's not successful. Yeah.
It's like even with regular, like you said, like regular movies. I mean, they can have a sequel. I mean, how many runs of, say, for example, how many versions of Batman can you have? When you realize that they're using the same old formula over and over again. I do admit it would be interesting to see a movie that had an interesting twist. Maybe even it wasn't always a happy ending. I know that doesn't excite a lot of people, but I think the problem is with Hollywood in general is they've been using the same formula for over a century now. And just changing the color of the actor and actress isn't going to change nothing. Because the storylines are old and stale and they've been used so much. What they need is new writers, new people willing to try out new ideas. Yeah.
Guys, listen. This can be done, okay? This can be done. I hope everyone's having a good time. Please put a 1 in the chat if you guys are enjoying this. Michelle, are you having a good time doing this? Do you feel stressed out? Do you feel stressed out at all?
I feel fine right now. I feel fine because I'm not seeing all the different nasty comments coming up on the screen because I'm just looking at the behind the stage one, backstage one. So I'm not seeing all the everyday comments coming in unless they want to see you featured to me.
All right. So guys, listen. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, I was going to say was, why don't we ask him this question for the ones that are on my show? Why do they push this racial stuff? Why do they push the N-word on almost every phone call I get?
All right, well, let's ask. Guys, feel free to come up and, tell Michelle what you think. Here's the link. Anyone can come up and again, tell Michelle what you think. Why is it that they have to push this racial stuff? Gemini Gem says, because you respond to it. Because you respond to it.
Do I have much of a choice? If it's going to affect my YouTube channel my Twitch channel. When I almost got my channel terminated permanently in Twitch because of it.
Right.
And that's when
All
it's
right.
not funny.
You want to bring someone up? Let's bring
Anybody want to
someone
come
up.
on up?
Let's
I love
bring
you showing
someone
on
up.
my comic strips at the bus there. Knickers.
Okay.
There you go. So, but it certainly is a good question. I mean, because I never believed in being racist, and I
Do you
never.
think these people are provocateurs? Maybe they're trying to push a narrative on social media.
I think it may be. They also might want to turn me into a greasy spot in their background. YouTube does. I mean, they want to see my channel disappear. I think. I think there's definitely people that don't really want to see me succeed, and get a chance to show my good side and my talents. As you can see, Noodles, I am very talented. I've covered a lot of different things. We covered so much. And I think some people don't like that. They don't like the fact that how can a legally blind person do all these things? Whereas me, I'm a 20 vision person, and I can barely get a job just flipping hamburgers at McDonald's. And I barely graduated from high school with my diploma. And she knows all this stuff, and she's on top of the game, and she knows what's going on. So I think that's another side of the whole point.
All right, Michelle, we're gonna play another clip video. We want you to respond to it, okay?
What are you doing over there, Tino? Oh, hold on. What the fuck? What the? He just pissed all over the goddamn table.
Because he's scared and brave. Oh, he's still going. All right.
Wishbone, what the fuck is wrong with you? No, you're sitting in it. Wishbone, no. God damn it. Get off.
That's why I don't like having dogs around so much. They are much harder to manage than a cat. Absolutely. I'm not surprised. The dogs are the kind of dogs that would jump up on the table.
Would you ever do that, Michelle? Would you ever jump on a table and pee on it?
No. No, Rusty never did that to me. None of my cats did that and decided to drop a nice unwelcome surprise on the table.
Michelle, I'll be right back. I'm going to go get something to drink. You take over, okay?
Okay. So anyway, guys, the deal is that I'd like to show you some of the stuff that I know and share knowledge with you guys because I think that you would benefit from it. I mean, this is your chance, guys, to see so many things. You know, let's take what we know. I know the world right now is depressing. I absolutely agree. It is depressing. What's going on out the world right now sucks. No doubt about it. But it's with knowledge that we can deal with the things and crush the fears and grow stronger. And also, we need to make sure that we make it clear to our representatives that we're not going to be pushed into a corner by any kind of global cabal that wants to basically destroy the American way of life. We had a revolutionary war against the United Kingdom, particularly the British Empire, because of this. This is not surprising that this happened against. America has always had a very simple concept of be free, as Daniel Payne had often said, as did Thomas Jefferson and George Washington. Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, and the Federalist Papers worked their darndest to come up with peace, but also come up with a government for the people, by the people, and with the people in mind. And yet somehow some elite groups have taken control of that and turn it into something completely that our founding fathers would have been disgusted to see. Conversely, we also need to be empathetic to the others who may not necessarily share our viewpoints. Not everybody sees the world the same way you do, and that's a reality.
All right, I'm back.
Okay.
Schmeckel Cat wants to come up, but it's saying it's Savannah Smile, so no, we're not going to play that game. All right, so you can get lost.
Okay.
Michelle, Tony Stark is here. Please give a thank you. Yep. Tony's a big help over here. Tony helps a lot of people, Michelle.
No,
Tony,
I'm not reading this at all. I'm actually a Mr. Richard comment, yes, but no, I'm not reading any scripts or anything.
okay, so here's the deal, guys. This is what we're trying to do. Kit and Cat, please. Michelle wants to do a show. All right. I don't, whatever she wants to do. All right. We're just trying to help her out, building the channel, getting her. Michelle, you got to start going on other people's channels. Please reach out to Tony. Tony will at least tell you where to go. Maybe check out some channels where you can introduce yourself, Michelle.
Right.
All right, but you gotta come. You gotta be involved.
I'll try to do the best I can, guys. I'm not always able to get on everybody's panels, but sometimes I try to get out there. I've been on Noodle's channel. I've been on Elaine's channel, Kermit and Friends. I've been and a few others. One time was on Jake Hudson's channel. He threw me out for no reason at all, even though I did nothing wrong. Okay.
You know what, Leo? If you would come up, and I want to put some stuff in the private chat of what's going on right now, because I saw it last night. It's happening again, and it's fucking ridiculous. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't, you know.
Right, I know what you're talking about. You're absolutely right. It is ridiculous, and yes, Blazingly would love to hear your view on it. Because you're not on our Discord. I can't post my Discord link here. Because unfortunately, I'd have to type.
Michelle, I can do it if you put it in the private chat. I can post whatever you want.
Okay, let me go get the links for you guys on the private chat. Then you can send it out. So let me go to my Discord link and get you an invite. Let's get you an invite for that. So here we go. I'm gonna invite people. Let's make this a general invite link. Does not expire. No limit. Create new link. Copy the link. Live story. Cursor all the way over here. Okay.
Well, Tony, if you like that top, we bought that at Walmart. Michelle got that at Walmart. Yep.
There's the newest link for my channel.
All right, let me copy this. And let me post it.
Okay, thank you.
And there is the Discord link right here, guys.
Who don't know how we work this. We do not have automatic verification anymore. We do it completely manually. We just ask when you come on, at least say hello, welcome. And we'll observe you for a few days. And if things go good, we'll give you the verified badge. Which at that point, you can post up links.
Hey, Leo.
Go ahead, Lisa, Leo.
Hey, Michelle.
How you doing?
Michelle, I will not join your Discord, Michelle.
Okay, that's fine.
It's nothing to do with you, but that's how they got, I think information on me.
Great, so. I do know that, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Leo, what do you think about as far as what Michelle's doing right now? She's doing news, she's doing games, stuff like that. Is this what...
I don't watch her, so I don't know what's going on. You're going to have to fill me in on what you what you're talking about.
So Michelle likes her morning show. She thinks that it's more encouraging, blah, blah, blah. She will not do night shows anymore. She's nervous about them because of the harassment. For some strange reason, it doesn't happen during the day or in the morning. All right. I told Michelle, I said, let's do a fun show at night. You can do your news. You can do some games. You know, we can have people up on panel. I saw it firsthand the other night, Michelle, who's doing it. Michelle, and I can't believe you didn't see that. But again, I'm not going to bring it up anymore. All right.
Yeah.
If you want to do this show, Michelle, you can do it here. It's safe. No one's going to bother you.
Well, here's my Cash App anyway. I'll send that to you.
So what are they doing though? Are it just the same old antics, or?
Yeah, pretty much.
There was a lag last night. There was a long lag, and the person that came up doing the N-word stuff got caught doing it. And it's someone that's always on her panel.
Trying to sabotage the panel over and over
Told
again.
you.
And she didn't hear it. I'm not bringing it up again. I'm not, whatever. I'm not telling anyone to get lost. This is Michelle's channel, whatever. But I heard it 100%. Yeah.
Yep. Scumbags.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I can't force people to hang out with, you know what I mean? It's just. Here, we're gonna post Michelle's PayPal or whatever. What is this, Michelle? Your PayPal or Cash
no,
App?
this here's my channel link. I'm gonna put my post PayPal me now. So
There you go.
Sorry. So you said here's the thing, and then I jumped out accidentally. So I don't. This is where I have an issue though, Dave.
Yeah.
You've done this for Michelle before. Other people have stepped in and tried to help Michelle. Nothing will change until she gets rid of those people. You know what I'm saying?
It's time to get rid of those people.
It can change, Leo. It can change over here. I told her. I said,
Yeah.
listen, you want a successful show. You got 24 people watching, Michelle. People love you. Do it over here, Michelle. And again, if you want it, Michelle, take this template, bring it over to your new show, do it over there. We got to figure out what's going to work for it. And I'm going to tell you something right now. Those people over there who are doing it are very close to her, and they won't stop. I don't know why.
It's weird. It's a weird obsession they have with trying to self-destruct her in a sense. Like anything to make her upset. They bully her. They really do.
So we're going to provide everybody the opportunity to come up and give some advice, maybe what she can do for the show and what they want to see. Michelle, I would love for you to do for the news. You started off with the news. It was excellent. I would love for you to do some games, review some videos, etc. But this is going to take work. And if these guys are going to help you out, Michelle, maybe they should help you out and get you clips.
Right. And as Leo knows, the favorite game in them is Cliplash, but the problem is they're always attacking me or Ed in Cliplash game.
Yeah, I know, Michelle. I know. I honestly don't know what to say, about it, because I've seen so many people try to help her, and it just goes back to the same thing. And I enjoy Michelle and I enjoy her show, but I'm not going to sit over there and just watch people terrorize somebody. It's ridiculous.
So here's the thing. Again, not going to tell Michelle to be friends with. I understand what they're doing. I get it. It is funny, but I'm telling you, that's not what she wants. She's freaking out. I can't get her to do a fucking goddamn night show because of that. You're ruining it for everyone.
And they don't care. Like, I've explained that to them too. I'm like, look, you guys got to compromise with her. It's never going to fly. And they don't. Well, I'm going to say they. I don't know who exactly is, and I don't know who it is right now because I'm not over there.
It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter, because you know what, Wiggy? Why would I tell you guys that? You know who it is, so stop. You heard it last night. Go back and watch the live stream from last night. I heard it. It was on a delay, and I heard it in the background while the guy was talking, but it wasn't on the screen, and it kept going off when Michelle kicked them off the friggin' panel. All right. Well, I mean, come on. It was very funny. All right, until that point, because then you just fucking destroyed it. It's gone. She will not do the call-ins.
Right. I won't do the call-ins because that's like where the worst of it is.
Wiggy, come on. Don't be like that. That's stupid. I'm not coming out here. I'm not saying it was this person, it was this woman, it was this guy. I'm not doing it. It's just I heard it. Come on. You got busted. So what? So what? It is funny, but guys, I'm telling you, you're not gonna get her to do anything, okay?
If you guys want me to do something, the best way to do it is when I'm relaxed and I'm happy and I'm comfortable, and then I'll do stuff. But if you're making me feel like a worm, it's not going to happen.
Okay, Wiggy, you want to come up here? Here's the link. I'll put the link, and we can have a serious conversation about this if you want. But I'm telling you again, if you want to come up here and say the N-word, I don't want to hear it. Michelle, how about we review another video real quick? Okay? All right. Hold on. Get a real exciting one for you. Oh my God.
Amazing.
That's how I feel like at the end of the show. Honestly, it's how I feel at the end of the night shows. I mean, I feel like you're punching an invisible target. It just doesn't go away. That's what it feels like sometimes. Sorry, it's true. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to know why they do it too. I mean, there's got to be some reason somebody's doing it. I mean, was it because of Kiwi Farm? Was it because of 4chan? Was it because of 8chan? Was it because of all of them that somebody thought it was funny to make fun of a person with disabilities? I mean, that's what it comes down to. Is it organized? I think it's definitely got to be organized. There's too many hanging chads to say it's just a lone attacker.
Wiggy, why do you want to know so bad? Why do you want to know so bad? It's not a big deal. Again, Wiggy, all I got to do is say, listen, I know what happened. We all heard it. All right? Just calm down with that. Let's try not to do that. We can do something very funny. All right? But not that. That's ending the show. That ended the show last night. That's all I'm saying. Okay? No one needs to know who did it. This doesn't have to be public. Michelle, let Michelle have fun tonight.
Right. I mean, I think that's the important thing is, like I said, is if I'm allowed to have fun and not feel like I'm sitting on tied to that tree in the video there, and then someone's constantly giving me a sucker punch to the face over and over and over and over again.
I mean, this has been happening to you for years, Michelle, right?
Yes, it has, since at least 2016.
Yeah. So, guys, come on. And who have you been involved with since 2016?
Paul's been around since 2016.
I love you, Michelle. I love you tremendously, right?
That's so scary.
She told me Dave, she told me the same thing about a year ago.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter. I'm not making a big deal about this.
Right.
You know what?
Yeah, it shouldn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. All right, so Michelle, let's move on to another topic. What do you want to talk about? You want to talk about sex?
Well, let's talk about the weather real quick in a little more detail, because I think we've seen a trend with this weather based on what I'm seeing so far. I personally do not think we're going to have a very long, hot summer. I think it's going to be a cooler summer this year. I don't see a significant heat wave coming in, maybe into the very late, near maybe August. Given the trends analysis that right now we're in mid-May and we're still seeing temperatures of about 20 degrees Celsius to 22 degrees Celsius, or about 68 to 72 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm not seeing, for the East Coast especially, I'm not seeing a warming trend.
Do you think this is going to be an Eskimo summer?
I want to know about an Eskimo summer, but I think it's going to be a mild summer for me, which means finally I don't have to run the air conditioner as much, which is a godsend. Thank you very much.
It's gonna be 83. It's gonna be 83 this weekend. That's gonna be. I can't walk around in leather.
I can walk
No, you
around
can't.
it. It's certainly something that like
You'll start smelling like a cow.
Michelle's
like the animal.
walking around these flowy dresses, very airy dresses. She has nothing to worry about. Michelle, I got to walk around in leather. I'm the leather king.
I'm not gonna wear leather jacket, no. But I definitely say it's just like Patsy Cline. So I go walking after midnight. I will often do that. After the sun goes down is when I start going outside more. When it's really hot like that, I don't sleep as long as I can. I'll sleep as long as I can.
You need some vitamin. Michelle, you need to get some vitamin D. You need to get out in that sun.
No, I agree. And that's where, again, I try to get outside when I can. Like I was outside today, for example. Before I came up here, I was running around for Ed for a little bit. And, that was like 15 minutes of MMD going to CVS, 15 minutes of MMD coming from CVS. And so that, to me, I do want to get outside more. Everybody says, what about doing a show? This platform here, the way we're doing it now, I could be on the porch doing this. And you would never really notice the damn difference, honestly, except I wouldn't have the green screen behind me. That's probably about the only difference you'd notice.
Leo, you got any topics you want to bring up? Any topics in the news that you read about or anything like that?
Michelle, I'm interested to know, what do you think of the LGBTQ stuff that's going on, the extremist, like what they're pushing on social media?
Personally, I think it's getting a little bit too crazy right now. I think it's too far to the left, and I think they need to kind of bring it more to a moderate center. Because, all the stuff that's going on social media and then mass media, including movies, television, and stuff, is just getting to be too much to deal with. I just don't believe it's the right approach to deal with bringing LGBTQI plus awareness. I think it's actually making people begin to really feel more and more uncomfortable with the whole idea of what LGBTQI means.
Now, Michelle, in your town of Winstead, Connecticut, right? We ran into that guy John. He says he's known you for a very long time.
Right.
He knew you when you were Michael, okay? And he said when you made the change, nobody understood, and everybody thought you were crazy. Do you think there's a place for knowledge of transgenders or anything like that?
Well, in smaller towns, I don't think there's as much awareness as it is like there is in the bigger cities. I think in the bigger cities, there is more knowledge of people being willing to accept the unusual and bizarre. But in a small town like Winstead, which is very insular, I think that there's a lack of understanding. In my case, it's not a choice in a sense because it was medically determined. Indeed, I am a hermaphrodite, and that or slash.
Yeah, but how do you explain that to the normal person that has never had to deal with that? I mean,
It's really difficult to explain it to people. I really wish I could come up with a better way of explaining it. I know Ashley Wild's gender tag. I was on that, where I talked about my experiences with Winston under the gender tag by Ashley Wild. That excuse me. That was really, really an interesting thing because she said, I haven't heard from any other hermaphrodites. I mean, we have plenty of, lesbians and homosexual men do the gender tag, but the homosexuals don't necessarily.
Well, if you were going to explain it to John, right? Because John didn't understand. He's known you for a very long time, and he's a gay man. How are you going to explain that to him? Because he was like thrown back by it. He didn't get it.
I'm not really sure I could explain it because, first of all, it's a medical condition. Just like I have a hard time explaining to people what Asperger's is.
Well, I could explain what dyslexia is to people. Like, there's got to be
This is all cute and all. I don't want to sit up here like all night talking about, and I'm not trying to be up here. I'm just wondering, why you're trying to pin me for the N-words on Michelle's show, and B, how Michelle can say I've known her since 2016 when I literally haven't found her show since 2018. And my first call to her show was 2018. I think it's cute what you're trying to do, but for a fact all the times I've been on her show for months on end that the N-word hasn't played since I was up there. So okay. I mean, I don't know how you can say that.
I never said that. First of all, I never said it.
Well, right. A few minutes ago, you said, well, the person left the panel and I still heard it. I don't know how.
Oh, no, that's not what I said. But
you clearly did. I mean, it's cute. You're playing into like Leo's little agenda here, but come on. It's fucking retarded. Come on.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
I don't have an agenda.
All right. There you go. All right.
Have a nice day.
Yeah.
I mean, you could stay here, Paul. I'm not.
There, Paul, but trust me, it wasn't trying to be deliberately wrong. I know that you and Skynet were around a long time. That's the whole point of it. I mean, there's no doubt about that. You guys have been around a long time on the show.
First of all, I never accused him of anything. All right.
Right.
I never accused the guy of anything. What I heard, all right, you're not going to tell me I didn't hear that. All right. You're not going to tell me that I'm mistaken about what I heard. All right, I heard it in the background. I'm not saying it was Paul. Okay, I never said that. But what I heard last night was in the background being played while it wasn't on the screen. I heard it in the background being played after you dropped that person off. When you kicked that person off out of the fucking Google Meets, I still heard it on that in that person's audio being played over and over again. That's what I heard, and I didn't say it was you, Paul.
There was another face that was coming up on the panel after I would block them up that looked like they were a doppelganger of me, but it wasn't me, and I was like, you just see their face real quick after I boot them out of there, and you say, like, who's this other person? They're trying to pretend they're me. They're managing to get on my Google Meets panel.
Listen, this stuff happened to me for 3 years. People did this shit to me. And again, this is why I would never say it was Paul. It doesn't matter who it is. What I'm saying to you guys is that you hear this stuff and it's like, come on.
Ever so it's getting old, guys. Come on.
And Leo's not pushing no agenda. I don't talk to Dave about this shit.
We laughed at it because, again,
because we know, right? That's what they do. That's their troll. It's not a big deal. It is funny at times, but it can get obsessive and excessive.
Michelle, have I ever told you to get rid of anybody?
I told no, you did not.
All right.
Oh, actually, you just hang up a few times on the phone.
Yeah. So again, I don't know what to tell you. If you guys are upset about it, I understand. I'm upset about it. Michelle's upset about it. It's got to stop.
The thing that they have to understand is not all platforms are going to tolerate that shenanigans. I almost lost my Twitch channel twice because of the word being used over and over again. Twitch isn't playing games with it. Twitch is not saying it's okay. Compared to YouTube, Twitch is much more hardcore, and will actually terminate your channel very quickly for the word, and that's a really sad thing.
Michelle, I've had channels terminated for less, so I totally get you. All right, that's why I wanted you to do it over here. If they get this channel, whatever, I don't give a shit. You know, I know you're going to be devastated if they do it to your channel, and yeah. Michelle came to me and she said that she wants to do this stuff, but she can't because she does not want to lose that channel. All right. What do you want me to do?
July of 2010. I never lost this channel. I have really worked hard to keep this channel in good standing with YouTube.
Paul, you're allowed to be here, Paul. I wouldn't kick you out of here.
Michelle,
I didn't kick you out.
Why didn't you ever do the separate channel for your night shows and your call-ins?
We can, but I don't think it's going to be necessarily any different. We do have another channel for the night show.
I mean, the only thing you'd have to do is probably delete it right away, though, because you'll lose it.
Right. So we have another channel called the North American Snow Queen Blizzard. Right now it has nothing on it. I did post a link to Doodles for it on Discord. Let me give you the link since you guys can follow it.
What were you going to say, Dave?
I don't understand why she has to even. She puts all this time and effort into this crap.
I know.
Why does she have to do this? You know what I'm saying? Let me figure it.
Yeah, but certain people will never give this up. I mean, how long has she been doing this? So the idea, like when I was over there, to try to get her to do a separate channel to do like the shenanigans. That was what what's that one she goes to sell her body?
Yeah.
That one. That's what that channel was. That's what they were talking about when I was over there. Let's take it there. That way we can do and say whatever we want. But I don't know. I guess that's not what's happening over there. So
I've had this conversation with her too, and she thinks that it's going to affect her channel. I'm not the one with the issue. She is, and I'm trying to figure it out for her.
Well, here's the
trying
thing
to get her
you need to worry about with the terms of service. Now, maybe you don't care as much, but it is officially
She's a stickler for the rules.
If one of my channels is terminated, you're not supposed to stream on any of your channels. This channel I just posted a link to in the private link is under a completely different name, completely different email address. So
Michelle, say hello to Skynet. Skynet's here.
Yeah. I heard you guys trying to say that those people. Can you be more specific? Because I don't want to be grouped up.
I'm not going to be more specific. I'll say this.
Well, when you say that, though, it really sounds like you're saying it's me. And you either better say it's
again,
not
I
me,
said it. I said it wasn't
say,
Paul.
I don't know. It's you.
I said it. I'm going to say this. It's not Skynet. All right. Is that okay?
Yeah. That's a good one.
And you want me to say it's not Wiggy?
Sure.
I'll say that too. All right. It's not Wiggy. It's not Seasons. It's not. I don't know. Give me a name. Because I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm not going to get into this. I'm not going to cause a problem for you guys
the
or
semantics,
anybody.
Though, is that this is a looping story, as you heard Leo said. I mean, we've tried to convince Michelle in the past. Michelle, shut the fuck up for a second. We've tried convincing Michelle in the past to be on a better channel or a different channel, one that if she was to lose it, it wouldn't cause any harm because, like you, I don't want to see her channel get destroyed. There's a lot of memories that I have that were really positive, and I would rather not see them destroyed. But Michelle, which is it's her prerogative, likes to go one way for a little bit, and then somebody will come in her ear and say, "Oh no, why are you doing it like that? Those people are bad. Get rid of them." I'm not saying you said to get rid of them. I'm just saying this is all very familiar.
I don't talk to her like that. I don't
the
talk to her
people
like
that
that.
it probably are will never disappear. You
So
know what I mean?
so this all right. So Skynet, this is what happened. She calls me up and she goes, "I want to do this, but I'm nervous." All right. I said, "Michelle, let me create some bumpers for you. Come up here and do this." I never said get rid of anybody. All right. I'm not
Right.
stepping
Okay.
on
Well,
anyone's toes. I'm not
that's
whatever.
fine.
Again,
But when
let's.
it looks like you're
Yeah,
digging for info or trying to figure out where people live or
no.
accusing people of doing things or like you did it to DVR. You said that he was a hacker guy that was messing with Michelle when it was like further from the truth. I mean, you kind of
Okay.
got a recommendation or a history of digging into people's
Okay.
lives, and that's what I just don't want to hear when you say those people. If you want to say it's such and such, I'd rather you be wrong at that than make us all wonder.
These people that we don't know who they are, but there's definitely people doing it, right? I mean, we're
But
not
you
gonna.
have viewers.
That's not
You
up for
have
debate.
viewers here that when they hear these people, they don't even know who that is. They don't watch
Okay,
the show.
it doesn't matter. It could be
They
a
could think that it's
mass
me.
wrestler.
It
Everybody loves a
It leaves
mystery.
everybody that goes over there and likes the show one way as being questionable when you say that.
All right. So for the record, it's not Skynet. It's not Paul. It's not Wiggy. All right. It's not whatever her name is. Shoo, whatever the hell her name is. I don't know, dude.
Still believe it's Yam Ranch, though.
It's somebody. It's somebody. And those people, I don't believe it's just one person.
I don't think it's
That's what I meant by that.
Because they have created secret discords, as I found out about. But the whole channel, the goal of Discord is to destroy my channel. I've had people that would that manage to get invited into it, and then they find out, oh, this is a den of snakes, if you will, trying to find a way to discredit me and destroy my channel. And one of the biggest one was Yam Ranch.
All right, we don't Michelle. We don't need to talk about that. All right. Again, you know what? I didn't know by saying these people would cause such a fucking rift in like in a community. I apologize for that. All right. I was just trying to say something in a way where I wasn't specifically accusing anybody. Because I'm going to tell you something right now. I don't know who it is. How about that? I don't know who. I don't know what the hell's going on. I'll play stupid. All right. I'll play real fucking dumb.
Yeah. It definitely is an irritating thing, though. I mean, like,
But
it's
regardless. But regardless of like who these people are, because there's people, right? We don't know who these people are, but there's people that have attached themselves to Michelle that are not going away. They're not going away.
No, they've been there since 2016.
Right. So she either needs to disappear for a little while, or she's going to have to learn how to deal with it in some way. There's no other way to get around it.
Well,
again, I don't.
One way to disappear is so we not to do the night shows anymore. That's what I was thinking.
Exactly. So this is what it leads into, and this is what I was trying to tell Skynet and Paul. This is what this conversation leads into. And again, I understand you want me to clarify, right? It's not Wiggy, it's not Paul, it's not Skynet. I don't know who it is, all right? I don't care. That person is irrelevant. That person's whatever. It doesn't matter. They're worthless.
You may know who's doing it.
How about that? This worthless person, the worthless person who did it. How about that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
like I said, it doesn't matter. Michelle can't see. The thing is that Michelle can't do it on her own. It gets to be too much for her, and then she melts down. And being that there's a lot of men over there, I don't think we realize like the fact that she's getting beat down day in and day out. That's what's the problem here, and nobody over there is trying to help her and put a stop to any of it. And I get it. I get it. They're like, well, what can they do? But
you know what? This is.
She wasn't calling them 2-3 times a fucking day. You know what I mean?
I also got defensive about this stuff because this stuff happened to me. All right, yeah. And I know exactly why Paul is saying that and fucking Skynet. And I get it. Okay, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you want me to come out and say it wasn't you guys, I will. All right. It wasn't them.
Right.
It does not matter who it is. The fact is that it's happening, and we don't want it anymore. We want to have Michelle do whatever she wants. And you know what, Michelle, continue doing what you're doing right now. We don't have to talk about this. This is irrelevant. This is stupid. Nobody wants to hear it.
Well, let me just say this. I think there's also a lot of misunderstandings on Asperger's, and I think that they don't realize that people who have Asperger's really tend to only can handle so much before they're going to shut down. That
Well, regardless, Michelle, it's not that they understand or anything like it. They're not going to do it. They haven't been that supportive person for you the entire time that you've been there. And I understand what they're saying when they're like, "Well, you guys are blaming us," but they're not dealing with the other side of Michelle either. They're not seeing.
Let me ask Snobby Buddhist something. Who are they, Snobby Buddhist? Who are they? I mean, you want to play this game? Who are they? You know what I mean? See how stupid this is? Who are they? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And again, we're getting off topic, Michelle. This live stream was all about cryptocurrency and the news.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause for Michelle Marie Delaney. And what is the deal with cryptocurrency?
Well, if we're going to get back to cryptocurrency again, let me point one thing out. I will say right now. Cryptocurrency is not backed by anything. As I said before, this is a numerical hash. That's all I'll say. It is not backed by nothing. Miners use a huge amount of electricity to create computational hashes that later become cryptocurrency Bitcoin, and they have these Bitcoin wallets, for example, Ethereum, Dogecoin, same way. The sad reality is it's not tangible, it's intangible. It's not anything that I would say you could physically hold in your hand and say, like a solid metal, like gold or silver. That's definitely a big difference. So when the government says, let's create cryptocurrency like the CBDC, what are they really giving you? It's
safe to say that we hate cryptocurrency over here. Guys, put a 1 in the chat if you hate cryptocurrency. Yep.
I don't think a lot of people really have a clear idea what it is.
I fell asleep. I don't know what you said.
This is what she wants to do. I don't know. I find it fascinating, Michelle. Very fascinating.
I have listened to enough explanations of cryptocurrency that I've fallen asleep on. It's not backed by nothing, guys. It's just an arbitrary value assigned to how much work it takes to generate the hash.
All right, Michelle, we're going to I want to play something, all right? And we want to, again, I know you don't want to do the drama. I know you don't want to do drama, but I want you to hear something and I want you to respond to it. Okay?
But, this guy claims that I'm crazy and all this shit, and I'm going to lose it. I'm going to lose my shit, and I'm going to fucking, kill somebody. No, dude, I don't have any fucking, I don't have that in me to kill somebody, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not, I wouldn't take somebody's life unless my life was at hand,
Snutter, why are you unhiding fucking Ouija?
What do you think about that?
I'm not sure. He's saying he wouldn't do anything wrong. That's all I can really say. I don't know anything about the whole story.
Do you think you should be able to attack someone if they attack you?
You have the right to self-defense. It's called stand your ground law. That's what it's for. The self-defense
Then
should be.
Can you please explain Sergeant Perry and this guy Penny out in this guy Penny that was arrested in Manhattan for doing a chokehold on a black male on the subway?
Oh yeah, I heard about that. If I remember correctly, the situation was that I don't really know exactly what happened. I guess the black guy was attacking him, and he felt that he was being threatened and he needed to subdue the guy. I mean, look, let's be honest. You're going to defund the police. People are going to have to take the things in their own hands for self-defense.
Now, you have a dagger, right? If someone came into your house with a knife and held it to Ed's throat and said, "Give me all your money," would you start stabbing this guy with the dagger?
I would warn him first.
Yeah.
I would give him an ample time to get the hell out of there. I definitely would do. I mean, that is... But, you know what the funny thing is? We see what the craziness with the law now is that one man who was defending his own property, this assailant starts shooting this guy. This guy shot this guy dead. The police arrest this guy, not the guy that was actually... I don't know if he was shot dead, but the other guy that was shot. They didn't arrest him. They shot the guy that was defending his property.
Do you know SARS Beth here was murdered a few years back? She had her throat cut by a ex-boyfriend, and you know, I just kind of wonder, like, if that didn't happen and Sarah had shot and killed this guy, would the state have brought her up on manslaughter charges for trying to defend herself?
That's a good question, because if she was in Connecticut, the answer is yes, unfortunately enough.
Yeah. I think that's absolutely ridiculous.
Wow.
This, again, is where this is getting out of control, you know, with defunding the police. It's because so many businesses are leaving these far-left enclaves because they're saying we don't feel protected anymore. For example, Portland, Oregon lost a whole bunch of Walmarts and other stores because the store said, we can't afford to stay in business here. Because we're getting robbed blind and the police are not doing anything to arrest the people doing these crimes. And
well, I don't know if you know this, but in New York City, they're thinking about pushing homeless people's rights. I think it's like some kind of like
yes, I do remember that. I was talking about that. Yes.
So this is the thing. They did that in Portland, and now all these businesses are moving out, and they're just basically giving these lots to these homeless people. Eventually, the state of or the city of Portland is going to be one. I mean, it is already one big hellhole. I was there a few years back, and I go to New York City. We don't have that there, but I'm assuming that if this takes place with this new mayor, we will have that very soon. Very, very soon.
I think the problem is that if you're going to start doing that, you're going to have to start charging taxes. Because in essence, the way
who are you going to tax though? I mean, the taxpayers are moving out. You know, and that's what's going on in Portland. I mean, a lot of these businesses are carrying the burden of paying all these taxes for these cities. You know, what are you going to do when they all move out?
Here's an interesting note about Big Apple. Since 2019, actually, it might be a little bit later than that. I think it was 2021. They lost 500,000 residents in the city of New York, leaving because of the leftist policies.
Mm-hmm.
And that is just off the charts. I mean, there's no way to explain it better than that. It's just ridiculous. The first thing I'm going to do is I got to use the bathroom. But the point is, think about this. When I come back, we'll talk about the homeless situation, because that is a real problem. So
all right, we're going to take a break. We're going to watch some videos. All right.
Hey, yep.
Honka, how dare you call me right the fuck now? I'm highly sick. I'm contagious, and my friend might be dying. You know, my best fucking friend is dying. You piece of shit. You piece of shit.
You better get off there right now, Parker. Parker, you better get off there right now. We're gonna ruin you. We'll ruin you. We're gonna ruin you. We'll ruin you.
I'll kill you. If anything happens to Tom, I'm gonna kill you.
You better call up your cell right now. You better get off there right now.
Okay, tell them.
I'm just blown with anger right now. Blown with anger! I don't usually get angry. So this one's new. Oh, you two. You're idiots.
I am not violating your firearms policy. I'm not.
This is a quick pierce. It takes a CO2 cartridge. Does this look like a firearm cylinder to you? A little too flat to be a firearm cylinder, doesn't it? A firearm, powered by CO2. It's a launcher, not a firearm. I can go on. I could go on. I am so sick of you, YouTube. When you can't tell the difference when a real firearm? Are you that stupid? You can't tell the difference from a real firearm and just basically a CO2 launcher is powered by one of these? You need some better expertise, YouTube. I'm not violating your policy, and I want to sue you. And I just might take you to court.
Woo! Woo! Get crazy with the cheese whiz! The bottom line is this, I'm fucked!
Yo, what's up? It's Anderson Henderson, and I'm deadly serious about this spear making shit. I have a couple of new sticks I can get to make some spears out. I'm about to make them right now, fresh off the scene. And I tore down this tree the other day and cleaned up a abandoned house that had a bunch of ivy all over it. Tore that shit off, cleaned up all the leaves, bagged them, bagged the ivy, tore down some trees, and I have some...
Women. I mean, it is. It probably is. Women are like, "Oh, that's so cute," but it's not the right.
I'd get screamed at for a turtle. I mean,
it's a different kind of attention.
Yeah, that's okay. But hobo, try it. That shit works.
With chupacabra, Mel's. I was obsessed with chupacabras when I was in elementary school. Like, I really was like, these are real. Remember how chupacabras were like really big in the 90s?
What the fuck is a chupacabra?
Buddies, 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 buddies. Buddies, 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 buddies.
Moving away. The flag of Baltimore is going to be burned. I'm going to be moving to Pennsylvania. I'm going to be a Pennsylvania man now. You know what I mean? I am done. I am done with Maryland. Maryland is a state of idiots. Well, it's a big announcement, Joseph. I am leaving Maryland for Pennsylvania. Yes, and where I want to move to, well, I might as well tell you, it's a big state anyway. I'm moving to Pennsylvania. I haven't found the town that I want to move to, but yes, I'm moving to Pennsylvania. Although I will...
And we're back. Sorry about that. I really had to go. So we're talking about the homeless population real quick. I want to bring this up. The situation is out of control. There's so many factors. The reason why. Number one is for people that are forced to be renters. They can't afford it anymore. Corporate landlords like BlackRock keep increasing the rates for rents. In the state of Manhattan, city of Manhattan alone, a single bedroom apartment has gone up almost $1,000. Talk about $4,000, $5,000 a month for an apartment. How would a person on Social Security disability be able to afford that?
Well, they have rent control over there, but the problem is that the buck gets passed on to the people that so I manage a building where Jared Kushner lives. You know how much money that guy spent on that fucking penthouse?
I have no idea.
$64 million.
Wow.
$64 million. Okay.
Is that a month?
And that's what he paid to buy it. I don't know what he's paying on taxes up there, but I'm sure that it's way more than I've even spent on my house.
Oh, I bet.
You know, and these are the people that they want out of New York City. Why? They're paying everybody's fucking way there. Everybody who has a life where they just smoke weed, hang outside, they don't have a job in New York City, Manhattan, Brooklyn, the Bronx. I'm telling you right now, people like Jared Kushner are paying your way. And you want more money? Good luck with that.
Yeah, that's also the issue. Like I said, is that the average family of one or two, maybe with a child, trying to get a 2-bedroom apartment even in Connecticut. Depending on which part of Connecticut you're in, a 2-bedroom apartment can go from anywhere from $950 to $1,200 a month for a 2-bedroom apartment. And I'm not talking about what heat and hot water included. Now, if you get that included, that's a bonus. So my building is one of those that's a bonus. But look at the condition of it. It's not great. But I'm lucky I got an apartment. I mean, I'm lucky I didn't end up in the street. A lot of people.
Sarah, you're gonna get fat if you do that. Sorry, Michelle. Go ahead.
Okay.
Why?
The thing is that so where are all these homeless gonna go? I'm not talking about the people that are already living there. I'm not talking about the migrants coming into these sanctuary cities, which only compounds the problem because where are they gonna go? It seems to me like the system is so broken, I don't even know where you would begin to fix it.
Well, let me ask you a question. What would happen to you if you went homeless tomorrow?
Well, I've been homeless once already. I wouldn't know what to do again because at least at the time I was able to stay with its friend Cindy for a while when I was homeless, sleeping in the backyard in a tent. But if I was
you were in a tent?
Yes, in the middle of winter.
Leo, did you know that?
Maybe.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I don't remember. I don't remember if she told me that or not. I don't remember.
And then it was because what happened is that in 2003, me and Ed had planned to go live in the motorhome that we had gotten. The problem was the motorhome was far from drivable, and after we gave our notice to quit, or our notice that we were leaving to the prior landlord, he could have said, "Oh, okay, you told me you're out of here now. You can't rescind it because I already got plans to have my maid move in here." So that means that because of my decision and bad planning, we ended up basically being homeless. And you can visualize how severely aggravating that would be for a family with a child. Right. But remember, it says that for the people, by the people, and then we are to be represented with no taxation without representation. So, which means is, what are the representatives doing the money that we paid into the system? That's the question. I don't know. But one thing clearly I do understand is that people are saying to themselves is, why am I financing all these freeloaders? Well, the first thing is, number one, the Biden administration has got to stop giving away free visas to come in here for illegals to outstrip the American people of the same resources that Americans need. That is a place to sleep, a place to eat, and a place to excrete. Now, if we had a fair system where we had infinite amount of vacancies, and if everybody felt they could stay there safely, then we wouldn't be having as many homeless. But there's only so much housing stock, and it's right now, there hasn't been very much new housing stock built since 2020 when COVID was at its peak.
You know, it's interesting you bring this up because one of Donald Trump's plans when he takes office again is to make cheaper, affordable housing for people. And the way he wants to do it is actually building houses for people that are cheaper to build, but just as safe, just as comfortable, you know, whatever. But back in the 40s, I don't know if you know this, but Sears and Roebuck's used to have a house that you could order out of a magazine. They would come there, they would lay out a concrete slab, and they would come there and build it for you for very cheap. And there is actually one in Alpine, New Jersey that still exists to this day. So they're very well built houses, and you know, maybe this is the future. You know, why is someone spending $600,000 on a new house?
Right now, Elon Musk is also encouraging prefab buildings as well that can be made in a factory, delivered on site, and then
they already have those.
The utilities, and you get it ready to go on the land that you bought. But
I think that they're trying to make it popular.
That's another factor too.
It's really popular by me. That those what are those called? We call them modular homes, I think.
Well, they call it. I think what they want is it's like a mix between a prefab home and a modular home. And this is the thing. I think that the future of people, families, you're going to have a lot of families that are going to be moving because people aren't getting one job anymore and working it for 30 years.
No.
You know, so the average job lifespan of or whatever is like 3 years. If you're working in a job for 3 years, there's something wrong. People are telling you at the age of 20, get a job, get another job that's paying more money and hopping from job to job to job. The days of working 30 years is over, and collecting a pension, it's over.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know anyone who's collecting a pension anymore. I don't know anybody who's held on to a job for more than 5 years.
No, I mean, I understand the pension thing. I seen that coming a long way ago, but you don't think people are staying in jobs for as long?
I think they're staying in a type of industry, but I don't think they're working for for instance, UPS. People used to retire from UPS with pensions. That doesn't happen anymore. The pensions are gone. People aren't.
Companies not giving up pensions anymore, really either, because, like you said, they're trying to.
Hey Denise, how are you?
Hi Denise, how you doing?
Go ahead, Michelle.
Well, I'm just saying, like I said, that a lot of companies are no longer offering pensions either. So,
oh, hi Denise.
So that also means that, also with the industry changing so much, thanks in part because of artificial intelligence, you're seeing a lot of people being displaced from jobs. So let's go for an example here that might be kind of current. Maybe not so much from New Jersey, which New Jersey has a law that you can't pump your own gas. But if you go to Connecticut, it used to be you go to a gas station, the serviceman would fill your tank, wipe your windshield, take your money, put it in the register. Now everything is basically you swipe a card through the machine, and then you go pump your own gas. So we took one job under the industry out of the system. The same as had occurred in the 20s and 30s with both the telephone system with automatic dialing and with things like automatic elevators. That why do you need to have a guy to push the button to go up and down when I can push the button myself and go up and down on my own, thanks to automation? Well, AI is likely going to cause more people to lose their jobs, including people that had been protected for a long time, like writers and creators and artists, because AI is going to do the work that they used to do.
Michelle, what do you think about the Black community wanting reparations?
Well, first
Well,
of
not the
all,
whole community. The extremists. The extremists that are
The
shouting that.
black extremists, yeah, the black.
right. Well, first of all, the first question that comes up is how much is it you really consider fair?
Oh, so you think they deserve it?
I would say one part of me says a little bit yes, but again, the question is how much money are we talking about here?
Okay,
You
so
know,
that interests me. What Michelle?
Sold in the slave market.
Michelle. Why would we give reparations? Why would our country, our government, whatever, wherever they get this money from, why would we give it to people that were never slaves in the first place?
Right, that's a good question.
So why that's why it's an extremist type thing.
How do we determine who was a slave or not? What are we going to do?
Exactly.
I think the argument is that the families that have grown up in the 21st century were robbed of wealth, of potential, based on the fact that their relatives weren't allowed to partake in certain activities, such as owning a business.
Well, but
or
you
something.
could say the same thing, though, Noodles, about the white people.
Everyone had that, though.
Yeah, no, I know I agree with that, 100%. But I'm saying that's their argument. So it's like,
oh, I'm sorry, it has more holes than my calendar does that I use for my ceremonies.
Well, my question is, everybody's been done wrong. Everybody.
Right.
Right. It just seems that when you give someone money, you're not really. I mean, how is that making how are you righting a wrong by that?
Right. We can also use the same with the Native Americans too. I mean, the Department of Interior has been known to not exactly give the Native Americans the best care. They tend to, kind of similar to the Veterans Administration, but the Department of the Interior, for example, runs these reservation programs. But some of these reservations are terrible. They're not.
Most of them are. They would have been better off staying with us and not separating themselves.
Well, some of them are making bank.
Yes. A lot of Native Americans have decided to integrate in with our existing white society. But I never seen or heard too much about the Native Americans going, we want reparations for the fact that you stole our land. I haven't heard anyone say anything about that. The Cherokee tribe is huge. They could have, they used to have a lot of land, and that we took it in the westward expansion.
Are they allowed to vote? Are they allowed to vote? I mean, they're not paying taxes or anything like that. They don't have anything to do with.
They're allowed to vote. They are allowed to vote, especially those that have decided to not necessarily. I think they can't even on the reservations. The problem is, what about their reparations? How about them? Let's be honest. We did a terrible job to the Native Americans, not just the
slaves. But Michelle, we didn't.
I think so.
We didn't
do
anything.
Here's the thing. I know that people like to think that that's the case, but in fact, we brought technology, we brought medicine, we brought all these things into their lives that they didn't have before.
Right, we did.
And things that they benefit from today, and we don't get a red fucking cent from it.
But
we're actually giving it to them for free.
50s, 1870s, for the westward expansion, suffered greatly because of our incursion into their lands.
Michelle, there's a story that I just saw online about the Europeans going from the Stone Age to the Bronze Age very quick. They missed out on the Copper Age. All right. And they were saying, well, how is that possible? It's not because they were extremely smart. It was because they were a tribe of people came in with technology that they didn't have. They were taken over by these tribes of people. All right. And they traced it back to Southeast Europe. Okay. Those people came from Iran, where it first started out. So ipso facto, doesn't Iran owe Europe all this fucking money? I mean, But I mean, think about it. Everyone benefited from that. Everybody benefited from that. The Indians didn't even have the friggin' wheel when we got here.
Right, that's true. Yeah, everybody benefited from it. Everybody still does benefit from today. But the sad truth is, unfortunately, we also pay the consequence for development as well. If you look at pollution, what's the Environmental Protection? Somebody say it over. The Environmental Protection Agency was created in 1972, again by Richard Nixon, to deal with pollution. And all the way back in the 1900s, thanks to the Industrial Revolution, we were polluting the air with smog and all this poisonous gases and dumping poisonous rivers and lakes and earth, soil in the air. But we were saying, oh, it's progress. We can now make the telephone. We can make a telegraph. We can make incandescent light bulbs now. We can make.
Well, that's like what's happening now with digging up the earth for these minerals to build these lithium batteries.
Oh, absolutely. It's still going on, especially in the Congo, where it is becoming extremely toxic, and mining is still being done to get the cobalt needed for lithium-ion batteries to this day. So, yes, exploiting of the American people is still happening. And these people are really treated like wage slaves, if you think about it. They are still slaves.
You know, I went to the zoo today, Michelle, and I went to the wolf exhibit at the zoo. And there are these red wolves there that are specifically, they come from South Carolina. And they're trying to reintroduce them to South Carolina. The woman who was giving the tour actually told me that the reason why these invasive species of plants haven't taken over in certain parts of America is because we actually got rid of the wolf. When you got rid of the wolf out of these areas, the deer population exploded, which means that these deer were eating tons and tons of invasive species of plants, and they didn't take over. So, I mean, people pick and choose what they want and what they want to hear. And again, you want an electric car, there's a cost. There's a price to it. And it's, you're destroying the environment by doing it. I'm sorry.
And that's part of the whole problem of what's going on is like I said, you can look at it from so many different ways. But the way I see it is that, from my perspective, is that if you want to fix what's broken, you need to come up with a logical way to begin the process of repairs. We mentioned the EVs, for example. Everybody says, oh, carbon dioxide is bad. Carbon dioxide is causing global warming and all this. Well, here's the thing. Human beings, only in 100 years now, only raised the global temperature by 1/100th of 1 degree Celsius. Okay? Don't have to calculate that in Fahrenheit. Point is, it's so little. Regardless of the fact that during the Jurassic period, the Earth was even hotter than it is now, with more carbon dioxide than now. In fact, it's during the Jurassic period that a lot of our fossil fuel comes from. It was plant animal matter that just died off and got compacted down into the Earth, making oil, gas, and coal. But you got these so-called busybodies like the World Economic Forum says, oh, we have to stop using fossil fuel. We need to go with green energy. But when you look at, for example, the electrical vehicles, the toxicity of the batteries, and the improper disposal of e-waste, how can we say that that's necessarily any better than an old 1976 Chevy Vega driving around on the highway? If you think about it, it's no better, except the Chevy Vega pollutes every time it's running. The smoke comes out of the tailpipe, whereas an EV, from the manufacturing to the charging the batteries to the is going to use almost more exhaust per vehicle in, say, 4 or 5 years. Most leases are 3 to 4 years. So you're talking about
Michelle, my concern is, there's really no you if you live on this planet, right? What it comes down to is you eat, you piss, you shit. All right.
Right.
My concern is that eventually one day these people are going to get so smart, they're going to realize, fuck, we can't really do anything about it. We have to start killing people. We have to make sure that the population does not grow anymore. We have to get rid of people. Do you think that that's a possibility?
Yes, it already is happening now, because if you look what's going on, there are places in the world now where food is so scarce that people are dropping like flies because they can't get food. And Joe Biden is already proposing to cut water availability for the Midwestern United States, which is our crop belt and continual man-made drought, to make sure that there'll be less food for people to eat and that people will die.
Wait, Michelle, what is he doing? He's gonna stop our water?
He wants to tell them how much water a farmer's allowed to use for the crops on a nationwide level.
Oh hell, that
They're going
won't
to
go
subsidize
over
the
well
water.
here.
Yeah. Well,
That's all it
I
is
thought that was
here.
the whole point of I thought that was the whole point of GMOs, was that you didn't need a lot of water to produce a gigantic crop, and you were guaranteed.
It's also disease resistance, but unfortunately, GMOs are also a double-edged sword because the way that they're made, genetic modified organisms also makes the manufacture of the GMO filthy rich. Say, for example, the major seed manufacturer makes a genetically modified organic seeds, organisms, is going to get rich because the plants can only be used for one harvest and then they're useless after a second term. So seed saving is not an option for farmers. Every year they have to buy new seeds. Every year, for example, they still have to use whatever the company tells them that they have to use for fertilizers in plant food. This is, again, who's getting rich here? It's not the farmer.
So then the only solution is to kill people. Get rid of the people.
Wait a minute. What if they're trying? What if they're trying, Michelle?
Strongholds. That's exactly what's happening with the defunding of the police. People are dying. They're not getting, care. They're getting shot. They're being stabbed. They're being poisoned. They're being overdosed. In other countries, it's even more bleak because people just can't get the food, so they starve to death. Again, George Soros and the World Economic Forum is promoting this. This is terrifying, guys. This is even Americans doing this. This is some multinational corporations and operated by a cabal of the World Economic Forum and the Bilderberg Group. They're encouraging these actions. And it makes me sad. Oh, yeah. They're the same ones that tell you that you do not have the right to choose what you can cook on. They're telling you, you will cook on electric or else. But then we already found out that, guess what? Our utility companies already said with the electric car businesses, we don't have enough generating capacity. Look what happened last year in state of California. Everybody wanted to plug in their electric cars, and California Con Edison of California said, Pacific Gas and Electric said, well, wait a minute, guys, we don't have enough generating capacity for you. You can't charge your cars all at once. We'll make us blow a fuse. We don't got enough electricity coming in. Because we have a severe drought, we don't have enough waterways working. But at the same time, the state of California is tearing up their hydroelectric dams because they say it's environmentally harmful to the fishes. So they don't want to burn coal, they don't want to burn nuclear, and they definitely do not want to have hydroelectric. They want to only have solar and wind. Well, solar is fine to a point, but what happens when you run a day when you don't have enough sun, or if you try to depend on wind, find out you have enough days when you've got doldrums with no wind blowing? How are you going to power all those electric cars that need to get charged up? It's pretty sad to think about. It really is. And these people are not thinking about this. They're saying, "Oh, electric cars are cool, blah blah blah, zero emissions," but they don't realize the emissions are just being moved around, offloading from the car's tailpipe to the electrical power socket. Same thing with the electric stove. Oh, electric stoves are good. They're 100% efficient because they don't make pollution. They don't ruin air quality for home. But what the EPA doesn't understand is all you're doing is now you're going to put more work on the utility company to generate more electricity. At the same time, you're shutting down coal plants, you're shutting down nuclear plants, you're shutting down hydroelectric plants. We're scrapping the infrastructure that's needed to power all the stuff that they want to power. Where's the logic here? Where's the logic here? Sounds to me that someone's not been thinking of very good energy policy. And also, I want the right to choose what I cook on. Just like the Democrats say, I want to choose the right to have an abortion or not have an abortion. I want to have the right to choose what I cook my food on. I want pro-choice in the kitchen. Let me have my choice. If I want gas, I got gas. If I want electric, I can have electric. If I want both, I'll have both. Give me both. If I want, maybe some things are better in gas and some things are better in electric. Let me choose. That's all I want, is I want the right to choose. I'm right. You know I'm right. Give me a choice. That's all I ask. The World Economic Forum is not even elected government officials. Why are they determining our policy? Who are? Anyway, the point is that's where I stand with that. Any questions?
Michelle, let's watch a video. Let me have you react to this, okay?
Okay.
Ready?
Come on, praise the Lord!
Yeah, exorcisms are really a thing. I'll just tell you that.
You know, that's a hot thing right now, Michelle. Maybe you should get an exorcism. You ever think about doing that?
Exorcism on who, Ed? I mean, but the point is I want people to think about these things. Let's see what some of you...
Growing up in the 1980s, I remember people with physical disabilities and handicaps complaining that they were being excluded from society, and there was not enough wheelchair ramps. In 1990, George Bush signed an act into office. Now, in 2023, we have people with mental disabilities demanding that they also have the same rights as everyone else. You see what's happening here, guys?
I think there's a difference between disabled and trans rights.
Yeah, but don't you think that some of these people who are transgender, do you think that they could possibly be mentally ill? I mean, who's deciding this? I mean, are these activist doctors?
Right.
I mean,
who's deciding if they're mentally ill? I mean, that's a good question. So who is the judge? Who's the jury? Who is the executioner? I mean, if they came up with this on their own that they're trans, how did they determine that?
So here's the thing. I believe, okay, I truly believe that there are people out there that, have this issue, and it's a big issue in their life. And wait, what the fuck? Wait, hold on. Dr. Esquire just gave me. Oh my God.
A hickey?
Wait, what?
A kiss?
Hold on for a second. Hold on. Oh my God.
I can't see it, Needle, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Sorry, the doctor just told me how much he's paying me a month now. He's paying me $1,500 a month.
Why
$1,500
would you
a
tell
month.
people that?
Oh, sorry.
You're gonna send them into a tailspin.
Sorry.
Well,
I do that too sometimes.
No, but what I was trying to say was that I all right, so I was born dyslexic, Michelle, right?
Right.
You were born hermaphroditic, or whatever you want to call it, intersex. I know that some people out there have real problems. All right. I just don't know who is deciding if these people are actually mentally ill or stable enough to make these decisions. And I'm starting to see a lot of activist doctors out there pushing this shit. You know, for a long time, gay people were considered these very nice, they keep to themselves. They're always in the closet. I've never met one of those people. I've never met an in the closet gay.
I think that's a good question because the doctors that are pushing this LGBT.
I dated one.
Transgender, transsexual, transvestite. I'm going to throw transvestites in here too, just because it kind of is in the trans forum. I don't know who's deciding what makes a person what they are. I mean, is it the person themselves? Is it someone says, "Oh, given the conditions you have A, B, C, and D, you must be this." Who are they? I mean,
I just find it weird how, it doesn't make sense to me. I'm not expecting anyone to understand my dyslexia, but I'm telling you, it's real. And I believe these people. I truly believe that these people want to be female. I truly believe that they want to be male, and they don't feel right about this. I mean, but the thing is that who's to say they're not fucking mentally? I mean,
right.
It's just
That's why
this
shouldn't be a public thing. This should be whatever's going on. It needs to be determined whether it's a mental illness or if that should be something they discuss with their doctor. Instead, they're shoving it down our throats.
This wasn't an issue until children started getting involved in this, and this is where it's going. I don't care if you're of age. If you're of age, go get a tattoo. You want to cut off your hand, go cut off your hand. You want to you want to do whatever. Fine, you're an adult. But when it comes to kids, I mean, how do we know that these people aren't freaking mentally ill? These kids are mentally ill.
Well, the thing I think the first thing is kind of like I think they think it's the coolness factor. I think that is part of it. It's a coolness factor. Oh, you call yourself trans? Oh, that's cool. I'll call myself trans too. Oh, you got your what stream out? Gee, I'm gonna do the same thing, Mama. And you know what? The problem is the far left agenda. In some way, you could say it's a form of mass sterilization because they can't have children, guys. Talk about population control. So turn Jimmy to Susie, and guess what? He can't get pregnant. She can't get pregnant. No baby.
Well,
no problem.
See, this is why I want to talk to people who are transgender, because I know that there's two different types. There's people who actually are. I mean, I don't even know what to call them, but men who feel like they're better off being women, like Caitlyn Jenner. All right. And then there's people that actually go all the way. And again, I want to talk to you. I want to try to understand. You're not going to convince me of anything. It's very hard to convince me to cut off my penis. But again, I truly believe this is an issue. And,
Well, see, that's the thing, though, because I have tried to have conversations with them, and they can't explain it. There's no rhyme or reason to why they're feeling this way. You can't get a straight answer out of them. So how do you determine?
Right. And I think that also is related to also media, because I think the media itself, in the 1980s, when using the year you're born noodles, 1980, there was Boy Choice, Carmen Chameleon, there was all these strange stuff going on, the gay scene, the transgenders, transvestites are starting to show up. media was making examples of them. But then, of course, even the cisgendered people, the cisgendered men were looking at the fact that women could wear makeup and they could wear dresses and they could make themselves look really beautiful.
Michelle,
And
do
then
you believe?
society saying you can't do that. You can't wear dresses. You can't wear makeup. You gotta dress like a guy. And some of these people are saying is why? Why?
I'm truth. I'm the truth. I tell the truth. David fucking Baldo is nothing but trouble, and so is Woody Widow. And I'm done, man.
I mean, I don't know how you would see about Leo, but that's what I'm picking up. Is I think that
I missed it, Michelle. There was a commercial that came about. I didn't hear a word you said. Well, Michelle, what? This is kind of interesting because I don't want to be labeled a cis. What is it? A cis woman? Like I'm not a cis woman. I'm just a woman. Who's the one that gets to determine who's a woman or not? I mean,
Yeah, it's funny because I
woman,
went to
man and
Starbucks
woman.
yesterday.
Well, man and woman is identified as XX or XY chromosomes. There is never anything different than that.
right.
Well, I don't understand why this is an argument that,
Yeah, it just seems like it's about fashion. It's like a fashion thing that we're arguing
Some
about.
of it definitely is fashion noodles. I think it's definitely it's the latest fad. It's the cool thing. I feel bad for the little boys and girls that are going for sex reassignment surgery as children. They're taking sex blocking hormones, drugs. I feel
So
bad.
I went into a Starbucks yesterday, and someone referred to me as friend. Okay. Now I don't want to be rude, right? But I wanted to tell this woman, I don't know you. I don't know you, and you're referring to me as friend. I understand what that is because they don't want to call me sir. But what if I demanded that they do call me sir? Is that crossing the line? And next time you're called a friend, can you correct them and scream at them and insist that you call? I'm a man. You call me sir. I mean, if I did that, right? What would that make me? A provocateur, an activist, an asshole? I mean, seriously.
If you listen to these far right left activists, you would be considered that. Unfortunately. It's your right to be called what you want. If you want to be called sir, that's fine. If you want to be called shit, go ahead. I'm not stopping it. She, he, it. Yes, I'm a shit. Of course, I'm not. The point is, I was called a shit for a long time by people who didn't understand hermaphrodite intersex, which is different.
I think it was just something I ate earlier.
It was just weird that they're so.
Yeah, or that. No. Sorry. Go ahead. Snobby Buddhist was saying, or demand they call you Tom Cruise. So, but here's the thing: why should I be demanding anything? You know, I just again, I see this stuff going on, and that was the first thing that popped in my mind. I was like, wait a second, don't call me that. Everyone else gets to decide what they get called in life now. All right.
Right.
But what do I have any right to correct someone? I don't know. I mean,
I would say you do.
Yeah, you think so? I don't know. I mean,
I would.
I mean, do you really know someone that well for them to? I mean, as long as they're not whistling at you. I mean,
I think one answer would be obviously is I say it's how you present yourself. I mean, if you present yourself as a man, and then you're a man, more than likely. If I called you sir.
Oh, okay. Well, I see what he's saying, Michelle. I think it's more or less like before, like I wouldn't have cared, right? Like if someone said sir to me, like I'd have been like, whatever. Not a big deal. But I think now, and it because it's affecting like kids and stuff, I feel strongly that like if someone were to say sir or even friend or something like, not, I don't know about friend, but something that I wasn't comfortable with, like trying to call me a they them or something, I would correct them. I would say no. There's men and there's women.
Well, so this is what I'm saying. How far can you go with that? I mean, can straight people now run into stores and demand that they be called him or sir, or you know what I'm saying? Like, and can we now boycott these places for calling us friends? I'm not your friend. I don't know these people.
Right. You're right.
I don't understand. I don't even understand why any of this is even changing. These people are just, they want to fit into the society, right? You know, this is the whole thing. Like, they want to fit in. They don't want to be judged. They want to be treated like everybody else, but they're the ones that are acting a fool, right?
Well,
like, I don't give a shit if a guy walks down the street in a dress and heels. I don't care. But there's certain rules that need to be followed, you know, and to society
Minnie,
to benefit
Minnie,
all.
I'm telling you right now, Minnie, listen, I don't mind you being here, but you've been acting like a real fucking asshole to me. I apologized to you multiple times about that fucking picture. I've never showed it again. I've never made a big deal about it. I don't make a big deal about what you did in the past, Minnie. All right? But now you're coming in here to start problems with somebody. All right? I love you. I think you're a great entertainer, Minnie. Again, nobody's trying to cause trouble here for you.
Right.
If you want to come up here and talk to Michelle about it, you're more than welcome. But don't do that to her.
Yeah,
Don't do that to her.
Let's do this. Let's have it, Minnie Manson. You're
I love you, Minnie. I love you.
transgender. I'm a hermaphrodite intersex. I'm a little bit different. But the thing is Minnie can speak for her own self. You know, what she or himself, where they feel they belong in the society. But I always said to myself is, it's hard to ask them sometimes, but my eyes, as lousy as they are, but if I see a man coming into a restaurant and I see he's got a beard, mustache, and he looks like a man, he's dressed to the nines in men's clothing, and I call him sir, it's because it's instinctual from when I was a child. But and then have him say, if he's polite, said, well, I'm not really a guy, I'm a she. I'm say, okay, I'm sorry, my mistake. I wasn't trying to be rude, and that's what I say. You know, I would love to hear Minnie Manson talk about his view of what has happened, because Minnie Manson's situation is very different than mine. Minnie could give you a completely different story than I have. I grew up in a very, very devout Christian home. We didn't really get into this. This was something we did not ever discuss at the kitchen table. We all saw the movie Victor Victoria. We all saw the movie Tootsie. We all saw the TV series Bosom Buddies. But it wasn't something we discussed at the kitchen table. Dorian Gray said, my roommate is female. Okay. I didn't quite see the whole message. My roommate is female. She's gay. I'm not. But some lady called her sir the other day. She's very feminine looking with a short haircut. Oh my God, we were dying. Okay. It's again, that happens. Misgendering by accident does happen. In this
Remember people getting freaked out when women were assumed that they were pregnant. They just had a big belly. That was like a big no. And you fucked up big time. You fucked up big time.
Like, how far along are you? Would you say?
Yeah, that was like the worst thing you can do.
Right. That's a valid question. I mean, so because our society, now they come up with 64 genders.
That's ridiculous. That's so stupid.
It only adds more
They're
money.
crazy, Michelle. They're crazy. They're fucking crazy.
I think it's crazy to trying to get people to understand that. I mean, I don't get it, but I love you. I just don't get it. You can't expect me to even understand it, and then you're trying to get kids involved in this. That's a big sell. That's a very hard sell.
It is crazy because there is no scientific.
You know, I don't get it. There's two of the 64. Pansexual, asexual. What the heck is that? That's a gender.
But that's not like genders. Like it's not a gender. That's where like I'm confused. Like there's no scientific proof that there's a gender called cisgender or whatever the fuck else, like unicorn gender. There's two genders. There's scientific facts that there's two genders. Like,
There's
so
two
how can
biological
anybody
sexes.
think?
How about that? That's a definite fact. There's two biological sexes in the human form. Unless you're
Right, which would lead to two genders. Like you can't have one without the other. You can't say, oh yeah, there's two biological sexes, but there's only, there's 64 genders. That not genders. That we're talking like some subcategory, like off the wall bullshit here. I mean, that's what it is. Right, it's a lifestyle. It's not a scientific medical thing where you can just say, "Hey, I'm a woman now."
It's not.
Nobody has a magic wand.
Where this stuff is so muddying the water is. Do you know the difference between, for example, pansexual and asexual? For example, a cisgender, a homosexual, bisexual, bipolar, by this, by that. Try that. Try this. No, I know biologically.
Pepperoni, 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 pepperoni eyes. She's got the pepperoni eyes.
Okay, so you get the point. I mean, there's just too many subcategories.
Yeah,
there's just too many.
It's just really ridiculous now. I mean, for them to people just to sit there and focus on like, oh, there's 64 genders, and so this means like everything that we were taught as children in like our government schooling and everything was all wrong. Like, show me the scientific proof that there's more than two genders or two biological sexes, and this shouldn't even be a discussion. These people should be in a psychiatric hospital or being evaluated, like to see what's going on in their head. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't trans people that really do exist, but these extremists that are making a mockery of it. These people that are making a mockery of it, it's very disturbing. It shouldn't even be entertained because it takes away from people like our good friend that, on YouTube has went through a transformation.
Like even for the intersex community, they're like, they're medically diagnosed as being intersex. Okay.
Yeah.
But you're more likely to be more of one or more of the other, but that still doesn't mean, like in this case, I'm female. And that makes a difference too. But even
I don't even understand why people are entertaining this. It's just so weird to have this weird argument about this. It's just stupid.
I don't know. It's just weird to think about it. I think right now, it's the cool factor. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, the newest fad.
I think right now they're really taking it too far. But the sad truth is, you want to talk about controlling the narrative and controlling the population. Just remember this: if you're doing sexual reassignment surgery to children, do you realize that those poor children will never be able to grow up and have families of their own? That's a shame. That's a shame.
Sorry, I'm just showing people what I had to go through for 3 years from people who were harassing me online. Sorry.
Oh, I wasn't even looking. Yeah, it's sad. It's very sad.
All right, let's take a quick break. Again, you're doing very well. You've held on to a lot of people here tonight, Michelle. A lot of people.
Well, I do hope that they will at least come and check out the morning shows. If they want to see something similar to what we're doing here, please come to the morning shows. We do this type of stuff every morning with my people. I'd love to have you come to my channel. It's so easy to find. It's just search for Michelle Marie Delaney, North American Snow Queen, or go to www.youtube.com/at BICHELA. It's the shorthand way. Or you can go the long way, which is http://www.youtube.com/USCR/BICHELA4. Come check it out, guys. Come check it out. Check out the morning show.
Niggas, at the end of the day.
Hold on, right quick. Who's
It's me. It's me.
Who are you, bro?
My name is Noodles 1980.
Okay. How can I help you?
Yeah, can you guys please stop saying the N word?
Get out of here. Get up out of here. Get his ass up on out of here. I don't know who this dude is. Some white dude. I don't know who the hell he is. Look here, bro. Look here, bro. I don't know who you is, Noodles 1980, but you can't come up on somebody else's platform trying to tell somebody what they need to do. If you got a platform, go over there and say that. Don't come on my platform. I don't even know who you is, homeboy.
Why do they say who you is?
I think no. So again, this is total division. I believe this is total division. People are trying to push this shit, and again, I don't know why white people aren't running around telling black people to please stop saying that word. Nobody's doing it. Nobody's doing it, but we're getting yelled at for calling people the wrong fucking gender.
I don't let them say it in my presence. If I hang around anyone who is of black color, whatever, they consider themselves black, they're not allowed to say it in front of me. I think it's disrespectful. If that's how if they view us, they view us as saying, like, it's a disrespectful word. If we say it, it's a disrespectful word regardless. Nobody should be saying it. You shouldn't be teaching it to your children. It should be.
You shouldn't be saying it around. You shouldn't be saying it around children, and they do it every day. They do it every day. I've had this discussion with people that when I was in Brooklyn, right, there would be these white kids that were being pushed around in strollers around these kids, these guys down at the Farragut projects, and you would hear the N-word being shouted all the time. Now, these parents, I guarantee you, never taught their kids that word. And they would have to go home and explain to their children what that word was because a black person was saying it. Now, you're going to think, well, so what? But whatever. So you're going to have to explain to a white child that there's a word that if your skin is dark enough, you can say, but you can never say it.
Yeah.
Well, why would they say it, mommy and daddy? I don't know. I mean, how do you explain it to your kids?
I don't know. It's kind of weird, honestly. I really do think it's kind of weird.
It's a total mindfuck.
It's pre-programming. It's I think they've been doing it for so long that I don't even think they realize what's going on. Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, making an excuse to say that a word that they feel is so offensive, if a white person says that, it's okay for them to like downgrade themselves every day with saying it. It's a little weird. Like, how is it so bad?
When people say anything about ourselves, the way they say, "Oh yeah, white boy, how you doing, white boy? How you doing, Caucasian? Yeah, Caucasian, you're a nice Caucasian, right? Caucasian, did you go with a Caucasian girl? Yeah, was she Caucasian enough for you? Seriously, do we ever see that? No,
I got called a cracker by some crackhead. He was like, "You doing, cracker?"
This is the thing. I don't respond. I try not to respond to whistles or "Hey buddy" or anything. I do not like that. I think that's very disrespectful.
I have a name.
I can't imagine walking around like in New Jersey we say, "Yo, what's up?" All right. You pull that shit with someone you don't know. I mean, you're asking for it. That's not how you start off a conversation with someone. You don't. And if you continue to do that throughout your life, you're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to go into a job or try to get a job at like a bank or something and be like, "Yo, what's up, N-word?" You don't say that.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
I don't know. This whole, I think what's going on lately is definitely a division among people, a diversionary tactic, and particularly the left is using it to split the country in twain. Is that we have, I mean, the people in the middle, the moderates, the Purple Party. That's me. I'm a moderate Republican, and they're moderate Democrats. And me and the moderate Democrats can talk to each other because we understand each other. But you got those guys out in the far left and those guys on the far right, and they're totally incapable of even talking to each other at all.
Yeah, but it seems like they're the ones that get the most attention, and those are the people that are being listened to.
Absolutely, and that's the remember something that person, I mean, actually goes back even more further than Abraham Lincoln. He said, "A house divided amongst itself cannot stand." He was talking about the Civil War. That goes back all the way to the Bible, which said something similar. The truth is, if this country can't get its act together, this country is going to be so broken that there's not going to be nothing that you can do to fix it. Mark my words, you'll never see this country get back together as long as you got two sides pushing that button. That's what it comes down to.
You know, I'm getting attacked for this. Do you know this, Leah?
Oh, I know that. Noodles. Welcome to my
You're getting
world.
attacked for what?
For showing this. So I hope you guys really hate me now. I hope you really hate me now.
Who's attacking
If anything, maybe you might come home learning something new.
I'll tell you later.
I mean, that's one of the things that my channel was supposed to be doing, was trying to promote communications among all people. And it should be allowed to do that. I'd love to see what you guys have got to say. Noodles, what's the latest comments so far in the chat? Because I don't see it right now, but what are people saying right now?
Let's read some comments. Okay. Who you think this is? Who you is equals we are BSing. I fucked up a young man calling me the N-word. He was a young Hispanic. A very messed up, making fun with words. Again, for you, do you know for you? Does anyone know this person?
I don't know him personally. No.
I know the handle because I think he's been on my channel a few times too.
Yeah, this person's been here for a while, and this person's grammar has been getting like way out of control.
He does like to drink, so there are times that I think he does overindulge. So, but yeah, he's a decent guy.
William. Yeah, I think this is true. I think this is absolutely true. Again, with the Patriot Act, and you saw them do this with the Bundy Ranch thing.
Oh yeah.
The government can determine who is a terrorist and who is a threat to democracy.
Oh, absolutely.
And you can be now arrested without any warrant, anything like that, and they don't have to give you a trial. That to me is very, 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 very scary.
Absolutely.
Very scary.
The Constitution actually prohibited that. That was an example where George Bush Senior, I think it was George Bush, was a junior or senior? I think it was a junior. Patriot Act was created since 2011 or 2001 because of what happened with the World Trade Center. And every year it keeps getting renewed.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. What happened to all the terrorists? What happened to all these terrorist attacks? I saw more Americans destroying this country in the past fucking 5 years than I've ever seen Islamic terrorism.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see it anymore.
Right now that I feel I mean, because I am very sensitive to the emotions of the earth or energies around me. And let me just tell you this: I'm not seeing a lot of people feeling very happy right now. I feel a lot of people feeling very scared, a lot of unsure what the future is because everything is so messed up.
There's no stability, and people aren't relying on their jobs. They're not relying, and if you if you have kids or anything like that, I can't imagine. The first time I noticed this was during the pandemic. I said I can't imagine having a kid right now and dealing with this. There's no
It's
way.
so hard. It's so hard.
Yeah.
Right. It is hard.
Michelle
And
has
things
kids.
have been so destabilized now that I don't even know how families, children could even make it.
Well, again, in the history of my 43 years on this planet, I've never went to a pantry in my life. Never had to. Even when I was working landscaping, I never had to do it. I rented out a place. I was living with a friend. I had money. Blah blah blah. I wasn't making as much as I am now. Now I'm the government's after me for for $1,500 on this. I owe the state $10,000 on this. What the fuck happened? The prices of everything are going through the roof.
Absolutely, because it's everybody Federal Reserve to destabilize the whole system. And Biden is part of this. He's part of the puppet government that's pulling strings in the background.
This is my question to everybody. Do you think if Trump was president right now and this was going on, do you think they would let this guy fucking get away with any of this shit?
No. If Trump would never let this happen. I don't think he would even allow it to happen. I think that was what the deep state was hoping was if Trump had won in 2020 was that he was going to be a buffoon and a friggin' disaster so they could still do their stinky agenda. But unfortunately, he turned out to be too smart for them. So that's why they immediately had to turn the table, make him look into him like a para.
The best was when CNN asked him, who does he want to win the war? He goes, well, I don't want anyone to win. I just want them to stop fighting.
Yeah. He says, I want them to stop dying. Everybody's dying. I want them all to stop dying.
Yeah, and like CNN is like, they're putting out these questions like it's either this or that, and nobody's thinking like, no. The answer is you don't want anyone dying. That was the whole thing with the whole magazine capacity conversations when people were like, well, why do you need 30-round magazines? And it's going to save the kids if you drop it down to 5. It's like, well, you want 5 dead kids instead of 30? The answer is 0.
Let me just tell you one thing I'm going to say right now as far as what's going on in Eastern Europe right now is the fact that a lot of families have had their lives destroyed. I don't care which side you're on. If you're Russian, Ukrainian. I mean, my ears, Dmitry. Unfortunately, he lost his shop because of the attack on Kiev. He doesn't have a shop anymore. He's out of a job.
Oh, no.
He was disabled himself. He has a disabled son. Guess what? He lost everything. He was able to get his family out of harm's way, but he lost all the shop, all the molds, all the everything. The last years I have are the last of his stock.
Think about every country that America has gotten involved with aid, helping fighting their wars. Like, so for instance, like Iraq was one of them. Yeah. We gave them weapons, whatever. Afghanistan, the same thing. And we end up going into these countries after we give them these weapons and kill everybody. This is, I really believe that this is a setup. I don't want our military. I don't want our tanks. I don't want our planes going into these countries, but they're doing it again. They're arming a bunch of people with our weapons. And then eventually we're gonna have to go in there and kill them. The same people that we've given weapons to and trained. I guarantee this is going to happen, and nobody's even pointing this out. Nobody has recognized this.
Who are we doing this to?
To Ukraine, we're giving them F-16s. We're giving them tanks. We're training them how to fucking kill Russians. I mean, this is what happens. We're eventually going to go into that country and start killing them. This has happened over and over again. Yeah, because you know what's going to happen. The Ukrainians are going to tell us to fuck off. That's what's going to happen, and we're going to go in there, and we're going to you know, there's going to be a reason.
So they're gonna. Oh, I see what you're saying.
But you know
We've done it to every other country we've ever done that to.
You know what's the scariest?
I didn't know that.
This country could have done so much good with all that money that we've been throwing around over there, like Scott's turf grass seed. I mean, all that money that we spent on military weaponry, we could have used to help our own people, keep our people from being homeless, keep our people from starving to death. But we give it to other countries and our own people suffer. It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense.
Because they already control you, Michelle. They want to control other people in other countries.
Right. And the World Economic Forum is a group of people that want to control the whole, pardon my French, the whole goddamn planet. And they're not even elected officials. And America has members of the World Economic Forum in this country, as I said earlier, telling us that we have no right to choose for our choice of gas or electric cooking, or that we want to have gas heat or oil heat or wood heat or coal heat or whatever. These are not elected officials setting a policy. Where is that fair? Why are we trying to determine or dictate our standards on another country?
Yeah, you know what, Snobby Buddhist? Maybe you're right about that. Maybe you are. I mean, eventually, this was the whole point of arming the citizens. Because again, like people knew how bad government can get and how evil government can be.
Because the founding fathers knew about the governments become tyrannical.
Yeah.
Yeah, they knew that.
Name one country where that never happened.
An amendment. And also,
name one country. Well, I think that they're just saying that, but for instance, I mean, name one country where that didn't happen, where a government has taken advantage of their people and actually did terrible things to their servants or their citizens or whatever the fuck you want to call serfs. You know what I mean? This has been happening since the beginning of time.
Exactly. So, like I say, is that they want to totally scrap the Constitution of the United States and create a government that's almost as bad as, Hugo Chavez or even Cuba. We're the government. We're going to tell you what to do. You can't tell us what to do. That's what Biden wants to create.
And how do you do that? You got to kill people. And that's the sad thing. They lock people up. They say, listen, we don't have enough money to lock these people. Let's start executing them. And they'll kill them. The Wagner group just said the other day that they're not taking prisoners anymore because they're not getting enough supplies. So they're going to kill any Ukrainian that they find that even gives up, that surrenders. They're going to kill them because there's not enough money to feed these people, house them, transport them.
That's sad, but if the Russian people can't get the supplies they need on the battlefield, think about what's going on in Moscow now. Moscow's a mess.
No, stop it. Stop it. Stop. What's up? You waiting for John? John. Stop.
What was that?
Well, I know one thing, Noodles. It's getting late. It's already 9:45.
Stop it.
So you want to wrap this up shortly so I can because Ed's gonna be getting up soon, and I'm gonna go to bed soon. So, I do hope that you will post me a link to this show. I want to see this after it's done. Even if you make it private, just send me a link to it. I want to see this, if you don't mind.
See what? The stream?
Yes.
It should be up right away. The chat might not be.
Right. But I mean, Noodles could share me the link to it after it's done, because I just quickly looked at my phone. I didn't know where it was on my phone. So,
Oh, it's okay.
Oh.
But I kept my side of the deal. I did not look at the side chat, so I don't know what they're actually also saying in the background. But I mean, the point is that there's so much going on that, like, Elon Musk has been aware of this. Tucker Carlson.
I think so, Dorian. I think so. Do you like Tucker Carlson, Michelle?
Yeah, I do. I think he's very outspoken. Unlike Alex Jones, at least he doesn't try to scare me as bad.
I don't think I don't know. I haven't watched him enough to really form a hard opinion on him, but I don't know. From what I have seen, it seems like he's more like a Jimmy Kimmel or, a late night talk show type of guy.
Right.
Like he'll tell the facts and stuff, but
I think he's trying to play the safe ground. Whereas if you go to Alex Jones and InfoWars, or even Ellen, Schroyer on InfoWars, where he gets into your face and he tells you where it's at with the New World Order and all that. I think Tucker Carlson's a little more careful about that, especially when he was on Fox News. Because unfortunately, one of the big operators of Fox News was also part of the Bilderberg Group in the World Economic Forum, which was Rupert Murdoch, Australian, New Zealand, by the way.
Oh, Dabacles said they posted the link in the Discord already.
All right, I'll look at it. I'd love to see what the actual unedited comments say. I mean, I'm just curious. But how many? Ask your audience this: how many of them are going to come check out my Discord tomorrow morning in the morning show?
Well, Michelle, I think if you keep up shows like this, Michelle, this might be what you want. Again, I think you should start doing games and all that stuff and get these people involved. You got to get your viewers involved. And, I'm just kind of disturbed that everyone got pissed off when I brought up the fact that people were, doing that whole N-word thing.
I think they
were trolling
in the cookie jars. I think that's what it is.
They got mad because you caught them trolling.
Yeah, well, it's like what the fuck do you want me to do?
I know.
Like, what do you want me to do?
They won't admit. Like, we know, right? Like, we know they're trolling. Like, we don't care. We get the joke. But the fact that they don't get what we're trying to tell them, like, you've got to stop. Like, otherwise she's not going to do what you want.
Like, just help out. I don't know.
Yeah, they won't. And when we say they, guys, to be honest, like, we don't know exactly who it is. We just know that it's some people over there that continuously fuck with her. We have
it's not I'm going to be honest with you. It's not a big deal to me.
They don't care.
All right?
They don't care if it destroys my channel. They don't care if it destroys my
I don't
feelings.
care either.
The defensiveness about it was crazy.
They're psychopathic.
I'm pushing an agenda.
Yeah, like, well, come on. I didn't say anything.
I don't even know what's going on over there. I don't watch because of the constant N-word bullshit and stuff. Like, I lost interest in it over there.
Leo, check out the morning shows. There is very little N-word BS over there in the morning show. I mean, go check out the last few rerun or live streams. You'll notice the morning ones are very, very nice. Very similar to what we're doing right now.
Oh. Anyway, Michelle, listen, I think you did a great job tonight. Leo, thank you for coming up.
Yeah, no problem.
Everybody who helped out tonight. Michelle, you did a fabulous job.
We're doing this on Thursday. I'm sure.
Well, let's do a little bit better job on Thursday. We'll try to work on some game shows, some trivia, stuff like that, and we'll do little segments and we'll do the bumpers and stuff like that, Michelle. But again, I don't want you to think that you can't do this.
Right.
You can do this, Michelle.
Games of my shows have been T-shirt KO and Quiplash. Both, unfortunately, can be played with 8 players online using your phone. And that was fun. You might want to try it on yours. All you have to install is Steam, and then you can play the game on your phone. Or I could even host a game, and then you guys can play it through here. You would just go to the link to sign in. It's free.
Yeah, Michelle, I think it's a tough sell, but again, keep pushing it, see what happens. Do you, and love you, Michelle. We're gonna end this, guys. Thank you very much.
All right, good night, everyone.
Yeah, Michelle, if you want to do it, Michelle, I'll stay in touch with you about it. Maybe we'll come up with some good ideas.
Okay, great. So see all you guys in the morning show tomorrow.
Good night.
At 10 a.m.
Ladies and gentlemen, the North American Snow Queen Broadcasting Network brings to you MMD World News Live, featuring Michelle Marie Delaney. Topics: the news, and the best news in the world, where your news becomes our reality.